So if an app warns your neighborhood that federal agents are nearby, is that civic accountability or a national security threat? Because this week, several apps and community tools designed to track ICE activity were removed from major platforms. On October 3rd, Apple removed ICE Block from the App Store. In the following days, it also took down Red Dot, Eyes Up, and De-Icer. Google said IceBlock, some of these names are just pretty clever, but Google said IceBlock was never on the Play Store, but confirmed it removed similar apps like Red Dot for violating policies, specifically citing safety concerns and protections for vulnerable groups, which it defined to include federal officers. And on October 8th, the crowdsourced ICE activity map, People Over Papers, was removed from the site Padlet for violating content guidelines. What prompted all this? Well, Attorney General Pam Bondi said the DOJ demanded Apple remove IceBlock, and Apple did. It's too bad she can't demand that the Epstein files get released. Anyway, the company also cited law enforcement safety concerns in its decision. And Google said it was not pressured by the government and removed apps under its own policies. But the result is clear. The tools communities use to warn each other about ICE activity are disappearing. And now some argue these apps cross the line. That real-time alerts could help targets evade arrest or put agents at risk. Federal law prohibits doxing covered officials with intent to threaten or facilitate harm, and speech used to directly obstruct law enforcement or incite unlawful action isn't protected under the First Amendment. But here's the problem. Reports show these apps aggregated real-time sightings and user-submitted videos of ICE activity, not agents' home addresses or personal information. And courts across multiple circuits have upheld the right to record public officials in public, as long as it doesn't interfere with their duties. History has some strong echoes here. Before the Revolution, colonial committees tracked redcoat patriots and warned their neighbors. In the 1850s, abolitionist vigilance committees in northern cities alerted black families when slave catchers and federal marshals came through. And in the 1970s, it took a break-in and a leak to expose the FBI's COINTELPRO, leading to the Church Committee and modern congressional oversight. Not to mention Paul Revere. Wasn't that the entirety of that effort? Every generation has found its own way to watch the watchers, and every generation has been warned. This kind of visibility is too dangerous. James Madison called the right to freely examine public officials the only effectual guardian of every other right. George Washington believed secrecy was essential to operational success, and that tension is baked into the American tradition. But today, platforms like Apple and Google aren't just selling us tools. They are gatekeepers of public coordination. And when those gates close, quietly, without a court order, and under public pressure from the government, we lose more than an app. We lose access to the infrastructure of civic response. And the logic used to justify that loss, safety, interference, risk, could just as easily be used to take down cop watch tools, or protest alerts, or strike maps, or any community-led visibility effort. Any of them. So here's the question. If real-time alerts about public officials are now treated as threats, how far are we from losing the tools that help us respond to injustice, or to overreach, or to each other? Where would you draw the line between accountability and interference? And who gets to decide?